Welcome back to Prayog. We have successfully completed the 3 chapters and moving on to the 4th chapter called data structures. From the examination point of view, this chapter is going to be very crucial both from theoretical point of view as well as from a practical point of view, because theoretically it contains a lot many concepts that are going to come commonly in every question paper of the annual examination, and almost 50% of the practical C++ part, it contains questions from data structure problems. So this chapter is going to be very important, and let us understand the concepts of data structures in detail. See, during the introduction of C++ programming in first year PUC, we understood different concepts of C++ programming language, which started with data types and so on. There we discussed different types of data types in C++, and we understood the importance of data types and all. The data type of a variable defines the basic property of it. That means what kind of data the variable can store, how much memory space is required for that variable, and so on. If we extend this concept by adding additional properties or additional information with this, say for example, what kind of operations can be implemented, and that how data can be organized or how data is organized, and what are all the operations supported by the programming language. If we extend this, then we are turning into data structures. What is data structure? A data structure is a specialized format for organizing and storing data. That means if you consider a variable, then the basic property of the variable is the memory consumption of that variable, and what kind of data is being stored, and what is the data range and all. Along with these basic properties, if you consider what kind of operations can be implemented on that data, okay, and what are all the additional things that can be considered of that variable, etc. Completely, this is collectively considered as the data structure. A data structure is a mathematical model of organizing a data. Okay, it is a collection of data items stored in memory on which a number of operations such as addition or insertion or deletion or whatsoever operations that can be performed. Next, importance of data structure. This describes why data structure or the study of the data structures is required. Let us understand them one by one. First one is data representation. It defines an efficient way to represent the data in computer memory. That means if you consider a data structure, consideration of that data structure in computer's memory. Second one, the study of the data structure is going to describe how the data is going to be stored in the computer's memory in terms of memory consumption, as well as in terms of its organization. That means whether the data is going to be stored in a single block of memory or in multiple blocks, or even if multiple blocks are required, then are they going to be continuously or contiguously stored, or chunks of memory blocks are used, etc. This information is also considered. Number 3, the data structure is going to describe the logical or mathematical description of the structure what we are considering. Number 4, it describes the methods, various methods to implement the data structure. What I mean to say is, few data structures are readily available with the programming language. By using the available components of the programming language, we can implement it. Few other data structures may not be readily available. For them, we may need to define them first and then later implement. Finally, the study of the data structure helps us to analyze the data structure and determines the memory consumption and the ways to optimize it so that the memory consumption gets reduced. So for these reasons, we must study the data structures in detail. Moving on to the next topic, classification of data structures. Data structures are being classified into two types. First one is primitive data structures and second one is non-primitive data structures. Consider primitive data structures first. Assume that you have written a program and the program has implemented a particular data structure, and when you compile and try to execute the program, if the machine, that means your PC on which you are executing the program, knows how to manage or process the data structure what you have used in your program directly by using machine language instructions or machine level instructions, in such case the data structures what you have used can be considered as primitive data structures. Integers, floating point values, characters, pointers, etc. are the most commonly and oftenly used primitive data structures in our programs. You can notice that with primitive data structures, most of the properties and operations of them are defined by the programming language, as well as they are understandable by the machine language instructions. So straight away you can use them in your programs. The second type of data structure is non-primitive data structures. Non-primitive data structures are those data structures which are not directly available either in the programming language or even they are not understandable by the machine at the machine level instructions or by the machine level instructions. So the data structures that are defined by the programmer as per the problem requirements, for which each and everything is defined by the program in order to carry out all set of operations even at the machine level instruction execution level, then such data structures are called as non-primitive data structures. And non-primitive data structures are also called as secondary data structures. And commonly used non-primitive data structures are arrays, lists, files, etc. This diagram explores the classification of all data structures. You can see that at the most basic level, the data structure is being classified into primitive and non-primitive. Where primitive data structures, there are different types: integers, floating point values, characters, pointers. And further, non-primitive data structures are classified into arrays, linked lists, and files. Further, arrays are being classified into single dimensional array, two dimensional array, and multi-dimensional array. And the linked lists, if you consider a linked list, it's a special data structure that is either used as a linear data structure or even it can also be used as a non-linear data structure. We are going to have a detailed discussion on them in our upcoming discussions. Moving further, let us concentrate on the next topic, operations on primitive data structures. See, on primitive data structures, we have got four major operations. First one is create. This operation tells us how new data structures are created and how memory is allotted during the creation. Number 2, destroy. This operation describes what are all the operations that are associated with destroying a created data structure. That means when you try to destroy a data structure, then what kind of associated operations have to be carried out, like releasing memory and other information associated with it. Number 3, select. This operation tells us how to select or access the specified data structure on which the operation has to be implemented. Number 4, update. This operation specifies how the content of the data structure has to be modified. Moving on to the next topic, classification of non-primitive data structures. Non-primitive data structures are classified into two types. The first one is called as linear data structure and second one is called as non-linear data structure. Linear data structures are those data structures whose elements are organized linearly or consider collection of data items which are grouped one after the other. Then such a data structure is called as linear data structure. The best suitable example for linear data structure is arrays. Stacks and linked lists are also examples for linear data structure. And whereas non-linear data structures are those data structures whose elements are organized in a non-linear pattern. That means the elements of non-linear data structures are randomly accessible. Such data structures are called as non-linear data structure. The best examples for non-linear data structures are trees and graphs. Let us consider the operations on linear data structures. There are 6 different operations that can be performed on linear data structures. They are: number 1, traversal or traversing. What is traversal or traversing? Accessing or visiting each member or element of the data structure can be considered as traversal or traversing. We are going to have an algorithmic approach that explains us how these operations are implemented practically in our further discussions. Number 2, insertion. Insertion is a process of adding new element into the existing data structure. Suppose if you have an array of 5 elements and if you want to add the 6th element somewhere at the beginning or at the end, etc., then that can be considered as insertion. Number 3, deletion. Deletion is a process of removing an element from the data structure, then it is called as deletion. Number 4, merging. Merging is a process of combining elements of 2 different data structures into a single data structure. Assume that you have 2 arrays, array A with 3 elements and array B with 4 elements. And array A elements are, if array A's elements are 10, 20 and 30, and if array B's elements are 40, 50, 60, 70, then after merging, array A is going to become an array having 7 elements, 3 plus 4, containing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 and 70. The next operation is searching. Searching is a process of finding out the location of the element which is called as a key element in the data structure. Say for example, you have an array of 5 elements, 7, 21, 36, 41 and 3. And if you wish to find out where the element 21 is existing, then we have to implement the operation called as searching. The element that you are searching inside the data structure may exist or may not exist. If the element exists in the data structure, then you are going to print the position of existence. Otherwise, you are going to say search is a failure. The last operation on linear data structures is sorting. The sorting is a process of arranging all the given data items either in ascending order or in descending order. Here, the data items may be numbers, even characters, or even names, or whatever it is. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to my channel, comment on the comment section, and please share with your friends. Thanks.